If there is one thing that kids, adolescents, awkward teens, and greasy anime-obsessed adults can agree on, it's a love and admiration for the characters from comic books and manga. Oh, Sawako, don't you know everyone loves you? Men and women with fantastic powers able to lift a city bus, see through walls, fly through the air, or be ginger with the power of a suicide bomber. Poor bastard. But until we find a way to blast somebody with radiation that either isn't the cause of or treatment to a serious cancer diagnosis, mutations in humans tend not to be that useful. There are a few that can be kind of cool, but for the most part, you're going to end up pretty f***ed up. I mean, I don't know if you're aware of this, but most things that cause mutations in humans aren't awesome, and the powers you are going to gain are like the power to grow tumors. Some mutations in humanity are more well known. Conjoined twins, progeria, being Downs with more than just the sickness, diabetes, or filthy, disgusting colorblind are just a few examples. And most of these range between, you know, everybody knows a guy to, holy hell, I thought that was fake. Some, though, just like this guy. Ah, God! Ah, gross! Look at that! He's a smoker! That's just gonna age you, bro. Epidermodysplasia verruciform.
Epidermodysplasia verruciformis, that's why we call it EDV, because who can say that?
Better known as tree man syndrome, is a skin condition that makes your skin resemble something like sitting on a witchy chick's shelf. Wait a minute. These are just the mushroom people from The Last of Us. The mounds that grow on the skin start out looking like psoriasis, but as the skin attempts to heal, the warted scabs grow over itself, forming hard chunks. Making it even better, the chunks can compress the nerves, adding in horrible pain to the list of reasons why I'm glad I don't have this. And as if looking like a thumbnail version of the thing with the sensation of needles drilling you wasn't bad enough, the treatment for it is cutting it the fuck off and applying skin grafts. But only as a temporary fix, because it's just gonna grow back anyway. It can be localized to a hand, a foot, the face, or it can cover the entire body. I couldn't find if it could be localized to the crotch, but I'm guessing like most diseases, not exactly where you want it, unless you're really into some kinky NSFW Groot fan art.
We would like to apologize on behalf of Sick and Awful for the inappropriate and offensive graphic. Brian has drafted a heartfelt statement to that effect. Isn't that right, Brian? Brian! No! Brian! No! Stop!
This condition is rare, so next time you're on the bus, maybe ask the crackhead with the weird growth if his parents were siblings, and you might find case 201. Or find yourself the proud owner of a brand new punctured spleen! Some, like Manfred syndrome, aren't immediately obvious, until they decide they need to haunt your nightmares with their freaky Junji Ito shit. A mutation that causes the muscles, tendons, and bones to be overgrown and excessively long, with disproportionately long arms, legs, fingers, toes, and neck. Because the ligaments are overgrown, their joints are just a little looser than normal, which allows their tall, slender man-like body to contort in ways that your atrophied body cringes at from years of sitting on the couch playing Bloodborne. If you've ever seen the movie Crimson Peak, first of all, let me know. I'm making a list. But more importantly, the actor who played this freaky shit was Javier Bate, a Spanish actor diagnosed at the age of 5, made a career using this condition to creep the hell out of viewers by doing this, and this, and this, and Christ! Freaky humans aren't exactly nude, though. I mean, seriously, look at this genetic mutant. Some mutations have actually been classified as a type of cryptid, in the same class as Sasquatch, Mothman, or the Goatman of Maryland. In the woods of Ohio and Michigan, there is an urban legend of man-like creatures attacking passerbys. Whatever you're picturing right now, I can almost guarantee you, unless you're from the region and you're familiar with the story, it's not what you're expecting. The story goes that a group of kids from an asylum who had an excess of water in the head, causing their skulls to expand and be all deformed and janky, like half-melted Tootsie Pops, were experimented on by an evil doctor, before they violently murdered the guy with office equipment and ran off into the night to form their own society of mentally ill bandits. Melon heads. It's kind of fucked up, I might say, to assume that just because an evil doctor got beat the hell up by a bunch of kids with extended malformed skulls should get a name like Melon heads, but the story gets better. Supposedly, these melon heads throughout the region are known to attack travelers through the woods by jumping their cars, stealing their belongings, and often killing the passengers. Why do they do that? Well, it's possibly because of mental illness, abuse, and their own weird subculture of constant inbreeding. Ohio, you got some fucked up stories, man. And melonheads aren't even the only cryptid-like mutants in the area. Back in the 1950s, a traveling salesman driving in the dark of a backcountry road freaked the fuck out, spilling his martini and slamming the brakes when he saw a creature with leathery skin, webbed feet, carrying a wand and or staff near a bridge by the river. Dubbed the Loveland Frogman, reports over the years have spotted the Frogman, which seems to me isn't a fair title either. More likely, it was just a homeless hermit who refused to work for the carnival. The only job for people with disabilities until like the 1990s. Just an ugly, sad, lonely man. But one question remains. Is he a wizard? I mean, he has a wand, or a staff. Is he a wizard? Is he a frog wizard, traveling the streams of Ohio? The cause of genetic mutations is not always clear. Environmental factors, inherited traits, evolutionary blunders, high-C ectocoolers may all play a factor. Over the last several years, it's become more common for people to attempt to mutate themselves, and while once considered sci-fi magic, has become a real viable treatment for several diseases and conditions. Body hackers attempting to alter the human genome in a basement laboratory. When used correctly, CRISPR gene therapy has been used to fight antibiotic-resistant infections, but at its worst, it's a vehicle to make you dead, give you some new untreatable disease, or promote eugenics by altering the genes of babies in some new weird designer baby market. In this article from Medical Journal on Human Reproduction, which discusses the case of twins that were genetically altered using CRISPR, it discusses the risks that fiddling around with the human genome may carry. One risk, known as off-target mutagenesis, which, out of context, sounds like an industrial techno band from the early 2000s, should be pretty obvious if you think about it. So in brief and poorly explained, all life is built on arranged molecules in various patterns known as DNA. These chains make you you, and not a duck, Willem Dafoe, or a dirty colorblind freak. CRISPR allows for people to edit the way DNA interacts, effectively altering key parts of the genetic structure. The problem is, since the human genome isn't 100% understood, even a small change can have wide-reaching effects. Imagine a case where parents want to help their sick child. Not being biochemists themselves, they get online and find a lab out of Switzerland that claims to have developed a therapy to do just that. They inject little Billy, and within a couple days, he's no longer laying down, constantly spewing green bile out, but he's actually sitting up, smiling, happy. Over the next few weeks, though, they notice that little Billy is starting to get a little weaker, a little thinner. His skin is starting to turn a little gray. He's not turning into an X-Men. Instead, well, it turns out that when they applied the treatment, altering gene A, it also altered gene B, triggering an immune response that started affecting little Billy's lungs. And because it was altered through gene editing, there's no treatment. It's not like a picture. You can't just copy and paste sections in and out. Humans have always had a weird relationship with ethics, technology, and human evolution. I mean, you can look into the history of eugenics, and that's a whole nother story. Foreshadow. And who knows, with CRISPR, the skies are wide open for altering the human genome. However, it also has the possibility to create a superbug that could kill out the entire world with no possibility for treatment because it's attacking our very DNA. So, sleep well tonight. Thanks for watching, and toodaloo!